You spend almost your entire year, every day, every living moment of your life dreaming of this goal that takes place here at this jewel in the desert. At Phoenix Raceway, for the 6th and final time, we crown us NASCAR champions. This is Sport of Speed. I'm your host, Devon Henry, as we prepare for 2025 NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway. If you haven't already, get your tickets now as we get ready to crown 4 champions over 3 days at Phoenix Raceway. He has been rewriting the Xfinity Series record book. Now he can sign his name as a champion. Sit down with 19-year-old Connor Zilisch. What would it mean to win a championship in your home state? Peoria native Dylan Cappello has a shot at glory as the crew chief of Lane Riggs in the Front Row Motorsports number 34 team, and we get to sit down with Chase Briscoe, the Hoosier who went from dirt racing and sweeping floors to vying for NASCAR's ultimate crown. The NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship race will be right here on CW7 Arizona, 4:30 tomorrow if you can't make it out here to Zoomtown, USA. Get your tickets though now if you want to see what might just be the most entertaining championship race over the course of the weekend. These are the names that will define NASCAR in the coming years, the future faces of this sport. But before they get there, they have to make their name right here tomorrow night for a championship.
To be in this position right now, thinking 2 months ago if I'd be in the spot I'd be really happy, and I think we can just go attack. I think what got us here really is just the consistency and the minimization of DNFs and mistakes has really got us here. Yeah, this place is technical, it's interesting, right? I've had a lot of races here. I'm sure I'm coming up on like almost 10 races at this racetrack. I had to think about it all off season, really all year. I was a couple hundred feet away from, closing out the year last year with a win here before the caution came out. I know I can put myself in the exact same position this year, and obviously the stakes are even higher, so there's some good that comes with that.
I don't at all feel like we came in here behind. This is got to be my best racetrack. Like, I'm not going to be disappointed with who walks out of here as a champion. I'm going to give you everything I've got tomorrow or Saturday night, but regardless of the outcome, I'm not going to be sad about it. I'm going to go and enjoy the race and know that we're going to have a great battle and we're going to have a lot of fun with it.
I don't feel any extra pressure to win the championship. I feel like everybody who's watched this year knows what I've done, and it's awesome to even be in this position. So that's why I'm not really too stressed about it, because 12-year-old me would be proud of even being here, let alone winning the championship or not.
And let's dig a little deeper into that Connor Zilisch kid, because Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a 3-in-4 shot of waving a championship flag at Phoenix Raceway for the 2nd year in a row. Leading that charge is the 19-year-old phenom Connor Zilisch. Not only has he been rewriting the Xfinity Series history books, but 10 wins at 19 years old, it's unheard of, as he will get a shot to race in the NASCAR Cup Series next year. We talk about maintaining his positive mindset and why it always feels like he's having fun.
I think that's part of the success that I've been able to have, is just being able to enjoy myself and be able to have a professional career, but still also be a 19-year-old, when I'm not racing all the time. So it's definitely a balance that I question every day and that I wonder if I'm doing a good job of. But, for me, I feel like the on-track results are the best when I'm happy, when I'm in a good mood. And for me, drowning myself in racing and making it the only thing that I think about isn't what brings me the most happiness and joy. And I definitely love it, and it's there's nothing else that I'd want to do on every Saturday. But when I get home on Monday, that's almost the last thing I want to think about. I just want to be myself and be a kid sometimes, and it's definitely a balance that I've had to learn.
You've garnered a massive spotlight at the racetrack, but who is Connor Zilisch away from the racetrack?
Yeah, I just, at the end of the day, I'm just a normal 19-year-old kid that can somehow drive a race car. So, it's been really crazy, just the amount of publicity and just how much my life's changed in the last 2 years. It's really crazy, honestly, and it's been a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, I'm still just me. My friends and I, we go and play ping pong and volleyball and pickleball, and I'm just a normal kid away from the racetrack. But when it's time to go, put the helmet on and strap in, it's a different Connor.
And obviously this is a very chaotic time. I know that everyone's talking about you. I know there's so much noise in the outside world, right? But what do you do right now during this crazy time to decompress and be yourself while you're going week in and week out, having to go into these stressful situations at the racetrack?
Yeah, these last few weeks of the season are always, the toughest, especially in the NASCAR world with the playoff system. You're racing for a championship and, trying to do your best to bring your team, what they deserve at the end of the year. And, I've done my best to try and manage that situation and not let it affect me or my team and not let it really get us nervous or bring us down. And it's been new for me as well. I've never been through this before and I've never had to do this. So each day is a learning experience. But, through it all, I've just tried to be myself and tried to show up every day for my team and, just let them know that I'm there for them and that we're going to get through this together and win or lose, no matter what happens at the end of the day, that this year's been a success. So it's a tough thing to really go through for the first time at my age, but I'm just doing my best to try and get through it with the right mindset.
It's coming up November 1st, that NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship on the CW, and you're a guy that a lot of people are looking at to win this Xfinity Series title. But just how special is it to have the opportunity to win a NASCAR title at just 19 years old?
It's awesome. It's a testament to my entire team, and if you would have told me that this year has gone the way it's gone in February, I probably would have called you crazy. And I don't think anybody could have written a script for how this year has gone. The ups and downs, the crazy days, the good days, the bad days. It's been a whirlwind, but it's been really cool. So, after everything that's happened and my team having, 10 wins and being able to be in the title fight is really cool for all of us. So, we're going to do our best to tackle the moment and try and take it on and hopefully walk out of here with the championship trophy. But, in the playoff system, anything can happen. So we got to stay prepared and, each week show up and give it our 100% and, hope on the other side it works out for us.
On the other side, an Arizona native has the opportunity of winning a championship in his home state. Meet Liberty High and Northern Arizona University alum Dylan Cappello. Plus, Chase Briscoe joins us ahead of the biggest race of his life to add the NASCAR championship to the family trophy case. All that on this championship edition of Sport of Speed. The opportunity to be crowned a champion in your hometown. Lane Riggs and the Front Row Motorsports number 34 team came this close to making the Driver Championship 4 at Phoenix Raceway. But they can still win the Owners Championship tonight with a Peoria native atop the pit box. Crew Chief Dylan Cappello. This is an Arizona Angle presented by Phoenix Raceway.
Hi, my name's Dylan, the Hitman Cappello. I'm 9 years old and I'm from Peoria, Arizona.
From the time that Dylan was probably 2 years old, you had a little trike that he would drive around the house that went 1 or 2 miles an hour.
Do burnouts.
Do burnouts on it and stuff like that.
Dylan Cappello looking at the checkered flag. He will win here at the Bull Ring.
It's just a snowball. Once you get the itch, you can't quite get it out of you, and then it kind of just took a progression towards I'd like to make a career out of it.
Dubbed the Prince of Peoria, Dylan the Hitman Cappello had dreams of becoming a NASCAR Cup Series champion. At first, he was going to follow in Dad's footsteps as a drag racer, but there was one problem.
He had to be 8, and he was 5, and he wanted to race. There was no way he wasn't gonna race for 3 years.
Quarter midgets was kind of the start of it all. Started running at the local level and had some pretty good success. Caught a big interest in it, and we wanted to kind of start touring more like national series races.
Dylan and his family traveled across the nation, dominating in quarter midgets, setting records at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and regularly beating other drivers who now race in the NASCAR Cup Series.
It's kind of everything that I got in, I had decent success in, and we just kind of kept progressing up the ranks and to the short track ranks and open wheel modifieds and started running late model stuff here on the West Coast.
It was nerve-wracking, but I don't know. You just absolutely loved it. So you just got to do it. So we just made it happen.
But like many aspiring race car drivers face, a lack of big money and big sponsors held Dylan from advancing closer to NASCAR. After being part of the engineering program at Liberty High School, he pursued a college education at Northern Arizona University, where he still couldn't keep his hands off race cars.
We raced modifieds while he was going to college. We would just stop and pick him up on the way in Flagstaff.
I really enjoyed Northern Arizona University, the SAE Baja program. For my senior project, it really brought a whole group together, similar to what you would see at a NASCAR series shop.
After college, Dylan lined up a successful career as an engineer at Ping Golf.
So I'm thinking, oh my God, you got the greatest job in the world. You never have to find a job again in your life.
They pay you to golf, and his first thing that he made is got patented.
He had a lot of fun, and he said, I want to go and race. I said, okay, all right.
It was tough at the time. You know, I wanted to get a job in NASCAR, and I got an internship at Stewart-Haas Racing over the summer between my junior and senior year at Northern Arizona University, and it was hard to get a team to really take a chance on you without you living there, and finally got a team to kind of take a chance on me and see potential in me. From there, just getting out here, I just fell in love with it.
After climbing up the ranks, he has climbed up the pit box as the crew chief for Lane Riggs in the NASCAR Truck Series and the Front Row Motorsports number 34 truck. Cappello celebrated a championship at Phoenix as the engineer for Zane Smith in 2022. But after helping lead the team to 3 wins this year, Cappello comes to Phoenix Raceway with a shot at winning the Truck Series owner championship, calling the shots atop the pit box.
I mean, that would be the peak of my career, peak of my life. Honestly, it would be huge. I love that track. Love being in my hometown for the last race of the season. Winning there with Zane was unreal and super cool experience with that team, and I want to provide that for this team and with Lane.
We spent a lot of time racing, but I wouldn't change it for anything. I don't care about how much money it costs. I don't really care about any of that. I know that we had a lot of fun. We made memories that will never be replaced. He'll always be my favorite driver. He's always going to be the best driver in my eyes. You know, I'm his dad. Of course, I'm a little biased, but I couldn't be more proud of him as a man, period. He has a lot of integrity, and he has a lot of humility.
He's a good person, a good-hearted person. I'm excited to watch his dreams come true.
It's your last chance. Get your tickets right now for NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway. This weekend, 4 drivers will earn the ultimate celebration, raising their series championship trophies at Phoenix Raceway. But do you know which of these iconic celebrations was first performed at Zoomtown, USA? This one happened all the way back at Phoenix's inaugural NASCAR race in 1988, as Alan Kawicki earned his first career Cup Series victory. He turned his car backwards on the track, saluted the fans, and coined it the Polish Victory Lap. Sport of Speed takes one more championship lap on the other side. Sunday, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's the day that 4 men have battled their entire lives for, just to be part of. Alongside the 2-time and reigning Daytona 500 champion, one of the greatest drivers in NASCAR history to never win the championship, and maybe one of the greatest drivers in the history of all of motorsports in any car in any place of the world, sits Chase Briscoe. The Indiana native swept floors into just about anything and everything he could do just to be part of this sport. A win at Talladega locked him into the championship, and the craziest year of his life, he might just end it as a NASCAR champion. I gotta know, what was more stressful? That last lap to win at Talladega to put yourself in the championship for, or having this championship season with 3 kids 4 years and under?
They're both very stressful. I would say the kids are a little more predictable than even what Talladega is. So yeah, I guess Talladega was a little more nerve-wracking. Just because, I mean, it can change so fast. I mean, we saw it with William Byron. I mean, he was in a great position, 200 yards away from the finish line and ends up like 25th. So, yeah, I would say Talladega was probably a little more stressful.
But not by a lot, just a little.
Just a little bit. It's definitely a close toss-up.
Well, now you're ready to go to Phoenix Raceway for a shot to win a championship. The last time that you were at Phoenix Raceway, though, in November, you stepped out of your hero's race car for the last time. Go back a couple years before that. In March, you won your first ever NASCAR Cup Series race at Phoenix Raceway. Is there a moment from that weekend or maybe another weekend at Phoenix that still sticks out to you? Maybe not day to day, but occasionally just pops in your mind here and there?
Yeah, I mean, both of those are very, I guess milestone moments in my life. Obviously that first Cup win and just the emotions that, came along with that day, and just, you work your whole life just to try to even get to the Cup Series. And, whenever you're able to cross that mountaintop of, at least winning a race, I just remember I knew it was a big deal to myself, but I didn't realize how many people that I had worked with throughout my life, or, team owners or friends, how big of a deal it was for me to win a race. And so that was obviously a huge part of my life and just a huge moment in my life. And then you go to, a year ago and I mean, I remember sitting on the grid after we fired up the engines and just crying because this chapter of my life was coming to an end. You know, it was a car and just a number that meant so much to me. And, you know, just the relationships I had built with the guys, girls, everybody that worked at Stewart-Haas. I was there for, 8 or 9 years of my life. You know, knowing that that chapter was coming to a close, it was a very, emotional thing. And then now, fast forward a year and I have a chance to be a champion in the Cup Series and stand on the front straightaway just like I did when I won that day. It's, definitely going to be, an emotional day, I guess, just knowing what could happen. But at the end of the day, it is just another race. You just have to go there and try to do your best. And hopefully the result will be the same as it was, in March of 2022.
Your grandfather was a winner in USAC multiple times as an owner. Your dad went and won multiple track championships in Indiana. But at Phoenix Raceway, you're going to have a chance to take home arguably one of the greatest pieces of hardware in all of motorsports across this planet. What would the Bill France Cup mean to add to the Briscoe family trophy case?
Yeah, it's crazy just to think that's even a possibility, first and foremost. I mean, I remember... it was like 12 years ago. I was just trying to win a Bloomington Speedway track championship, and that was like the biggest thing in my life I thought that I would ever win. And didn't win it either, but I just remember like how much that meant to me at that point in my life. And yeah, to now know that you have a chance to, win, the Bill France Cup and the NASCAR championship, it's crazy. I just remember the journey that I went through just to even race a NASCAR sanctioned race, let alone a Cup race, and now to have a chance to, literally a 1 in 4 shot to be a champion is pretty unbelievable. So it'd mean the world to not only myself but certainly my family. I would say it honestly probably mean more to them than it does even me, just because they've obviously went through the whole story, right, all the way back to the 70s, where I'm just a small chapter of that. But I think just all the blood, sweat, and tears that have went into the Briscoe family racing since 1970s, it would all kind of, I don't know, I guess come to fruition if I was able to do this. So yeah, it would definitely be really special.
Here's a look at a busy championship weekend schedule. Of course, the Truck Series title race tonight, Arco West tomorrow at 10:30. You can catch the Xfinity Series championship race right here on CW7 at 4:30 tomorrow. And who will raise the Bill France Cup? Sunday, 1 p.m., the NASCAR Cup Series championship. Tonight's championship with the NASCAR Truck Series headlined by the 11-time winner this year, Corey Heim, the youngster Tyler Ankrum. Caden Honeycutt, who was released from one car, got picked up in another to finish the championship, and defending Truck Series champion Ty Majeski. It's an all-Chevy championship 4 in the Xfinity Series. First, the rookie Carson Cappello. Jesse Love looking to spoil the junior motorsports party with Richard Childress Racing. The defending champion Justin Allgaier, and the 10-time winner this year, Connor Zilisch. And in Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series Championship, it's the 2021 champion Kyle Larson, maybe the greatest to never raise the championship yet, Denny Hamlin, maybe the greatest story so far looking for his first title, Chase Briscoe, and William Byron, the 2-time defending Daytona 500 winner, looking to raise his first Bill France Cup. And let's take a deeper dive into the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship right here on CW7 Arizona. Now you have the Drivers' Championship, Cappello, Love, Zilisch, all looking for their first championship against Justin Allgaier, but there's also an Owners' Championship. The Joe Gibbs 19 and Richard Childress 21 car will both be racing for the Owners' title, driven by Eric Almirola and Austin Hill. So 6 drivers, 2 different championships to watch on Saturday. And that's it. Almost 40 weeks of your year, almost your entire life, vying for this opportunity to put your names in the history books. Thank you for joining me all season long on Sport of Speed. It's time to crown royalty one more time at this jewel in the desert. Here's to the start of one heck of a weekend on the way.